Dear grade 11 students, our lesson today is a grammar lesson, module 9, page 136. So, get your books ready. Today we have two objectives. The first is to use direct and reported speech correctly. The second is to change questions and commands from direct to reported speech. Before you continue watching the video, it's very important that you go to the grammar reference section of your books and read pages 171 and 172 very carefully. In the previous lesson, we learned how to report statements, but today we are going to learn how to report questions. When we report the questions, we usually change said to asked. For example, this is a direct question. Tom said to me, "Why are you late?" When we report it, we change said to asked. But actually, not all questions are the same. In English, there are two types of questions: the WH questions and yes-no questions. WH questions are questions that begin with a WH word. The yes-no questions are questions that begin with a helping verb. The answer to these questions is either yes or no. Now let's see how to report a WH question. When we change a WH question from direct to reported speech, we make a number of changes. This is a direct question, and this is a reported question. I want you to read the two sentences carefully and find the differences between them. So the first change is we change said to asked, because this is a question. We removed the quotation marks and we kept the existing question word, where. We changed you to she because he is speaking to Jane. The verb are going in the present progressive, change it to was going in the past progressive. The time expression now, change it to then. And notes, this is the question mark. It doesn't exist in the reported speech because we replace it with full stop. But how to report yes-no questions? When we change a yes-no question from direct to reported speech, we make about the same changes with a slight difference. This is a direct question. Direct yes-no question. And this is a reported question. Compare them and find the differences. So we change said to asked. The quotation marks are removed and replaced by if. You becomes she. Did go, past simple, changes to had gone, past perfect. The time expression yesterday changes to the day before, and the question mark is replaced by a full stop. Now let's learn how to report commands and requests. We commonly use tell, beg, command, advise, warn, or order when we report commands, and ask when we report requests. This is a direct command. Tom said, "Sit down, Jane." So we change the verb said to told. And we use to before the verb. Sit down, to sit down. This is a direct request. So we change said to asked. And because this is a negative imperative, we use not to before the verb. Now open your books, page 136. Exercise A. In this exercise, we have two reported questions. The first one, John asked her why she had gone to the doctor. The second, John asked him if he would go to China again. Now answer questions from 1 to 3. The first question, what questions did John actually ask? In the first sentence, the direct question was, why did you go to the doctor? The second question, will you go to China again? You note that the first one is a WH question and the second one is a yes-no question. Question 2. Which words do the reported questions begin with? The first one begins with the word why, and the second one begins with the word if. Question number 3. Are the verbs in the reported questions in the affirmative or in the question form? Of course, they are in the affirmative form because they are reported questions. That's why we have to remove the question marks. Exercise B. In this exercise, we have one reported command. She told her not to be rude, and one reported request. He asked us to follow him. Now read the dialogue below and answer the questions that follow. Questions from 1 to 4. Question 1. Which verb is used to report a command? The verb used to report a command is told. So the verb is tell. Question number 2. Which verb is used to report a request? Asked. Question number 3. What does the imperative change to in reported speech? The imperative changes to 2 plus base 4. What about the negative imperative? In this case, it changes to not 2 plus base 4. Now go to your workbook, page 114, exercise B. Answer questions from 1 to 4. Pause the video, take your time, and come back to check your answers. The first question, the answer is C. Because in A and B, we have a present verb, and C has the correct word order, where he was. Question number 2, the answer is B, because it's the only choice that has the question word. Why? Number 3, the answer is A, because the verb offered must be followed by the preposition to. Number 4, the answer is C. For more practice, answer exercise D, page 114 in your workbook. For homework, please log on to your Teams Corner and do the homework and the quizzes assigned to you by your teacher. Thank you for listening, best wishes, and keep safe.